Good morning, Global Leadership Academy Southwest. Today we're going to start with our affirmation. I feel good about myself. I feel good about the people around me. I feel goodness all around me. And it will follow me for the rest of my life because I walk with good and I talk with good and I am good. And that feels real good. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is your better and your better is your best. So we're going to go into our norms. Our first norm is to please be on time. Frame camera correctly. Mute yourself when not speaking. The camera should be on, and please wear school appropriate clothing. Pay attention, take notes during these PowerPoints, and stay on task. The jewel of the month is tenacity. Tenacity meaning the quality or fact of being able to grip something firmly. The quote of the day: tenacity is the ability to hang on when letting go appears most attractive. I'll give you a few minutes to respond to the quote of the day. "30 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The standard for this week is analyze in detail the structure of a specific paragraph in a text, including the role of particular sentences in developing and redefining a key concept. The objective: I can analyze in detail the structure of a specific paragraph in a text, including the role of particular sentences in developing and refining a key concept. Here is the link to Chapter 3, Section 4, pages 84 to 89. Use this PowerPoint to complete your week work. And here we go. The Southern Colonies. So last week we talked about the Middle Colonies with Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. And this week we're going to talk about the Southern Colonies. Types of colonial charters. A company. Company is a colonial charter given to a company or group of settlers. For example, Virginia was a company charter. Royal. Royal colonies are colonies directly controlled by the crown. For instance, New York. Proprietary. Colonial charter given to one or more individuals, proprietors. Example, Pennsylvania. Economy of the Southern Colonies. Agriculture was really big down south with tobacco, rice, and indigo, which brought in huge amounts of cash or cash crops. Plantations, as we majority of us know, plantations are large farms, usually specializing in one crop, mostly worked by slaves or indentured servants. An indentured servant agrees to work on a plantation for a fixed number of years to earn passage to America, freedom, and land. Slaves, more than 20,000 in Southern colonies by 1700. Virginia, Jamestown, Virginia was founded in 1607 by a Virginia company. Huge original area cut down by land grants to Massachusetts, Maryland, and the Carolinas. Maryland. In 1632, Lord Baltimore received land grant to found a colony as a refuge for English Roman Catholics. The first settlers were in 1634. As more Protestants moved to area, tensions grew, leading to the Toleration Act of 1649, mandating religious toleration of all Christian denominations. Maryland Toleration Act. Toleration Act of 1649, mandating religious toleration of all Christian denominations, outlaw restricting rights of Christian groups, first law of its kind, and precursor to the First Amendment. The Carolinas. In 1663, land was given to 8 lords by Charles II. In 1670, Charlestown, which became Charleston, founded a commercial, social, and political center of South Carolina. So what we know as Charleston, South Carolina now was Charlestown. African laborers taught colonists to raise rice in 1690s. That was a cash crop. It split into North and South Carolina in 1712. So at first it was just one Carolina, but in 1712 it split into North and South. They spread out the settlement and made it hard to govern. North Carolina was very rural and unpopulated until the 1700s, mostly made up of farmers from Virginia. South Carolina, on the other hand, was made up of big plantations, and proximity to Charleston made for big money. The only colony where slaves outnumbered the white population. That's key. And South Carolina was the only colony where slaves outnumbered the white population. Georgia. James Oglethorpe and other trustees given a grant by George II to start a colony for poor jail debtors from England. So as you can see, most of these states were named after people who had the name in it. So you had Lord Baltimore, Baltimore, Maryland, George II, Georgia. So Georgia was for poor people who were either in debt from jail from England or just poor. Land formerly part of South Carolina. So Georgia was a part of South Carolina. Hoped to form a border between Spanish Florida and other English colonies. Savannah was founded in 1733. Oglethorpe wanted to avoid the rise of plantations to assure small farm success. He prohibited slavery, limited land grants, free passage to Georgia and cattle, land and food until they could provide for themselves. Once successful, colonists wanted to expand. In 1752, trustees gave up charter because of royal colony results in large rice plantations worked by thousands of slaves. Your exit ticket will be to complete the comprehension and critical thinking. So number 1, summarize. How did the geography of the southern colonies affect the kinds of crops that were grown there? B, why did the struggle for rich farmland affect the colonists in Virginia? 2A, why did Lord Baltimore want Maryland Act of Toleration? 2B, compare. How would you compare the motives of Lord Baltimore in founding the colony of Maryland with those of James Oglethorpe in founding Georgia? Compare and contrast. A, compare and contrast to Tidewater and the backcountry regions of the southern colonies. B, compare and contrast the economic systems of New England, the middle colonies, and the southern colonies. What was the difference between an indentured servant and a slave? And last but not least, the writing. List the different groups of people living in the southern colonies between 1620 and 1700s. Write 2 or 3 sentences about each group. That turns out to a paragraph. Thank you very much and have a great day on purpose.